Hi, everybody, and welcome to our series on candle magic. And today's class is going to be on how to choose your candle and prep it for burning. And that's why you only see part of my head here, because I want you to be able to see the candle I'm working on in front of me. Something else you're going to be able to see, you lucky people, is my little dog back there. That's Bruce. It's short for Brucifer. And he's probably going to be jumping into frame from time to time. He's a Jack Russell. He's a little busy, but I did dope him up with some CBD last night because he wouldn't sleep. And so he may not show up. He might just finish his little non-rawhide ring and go to sleep. Anyway, choosing a candle. We talk about the ways to infuse energy into the candle. We are going to cover that today. But the power of your witchcraft regarding candles starts at the very beginning with your intention. And the intention is what's going to color or influence the candle that you choose. Now, one of the questions that comes up a lot is, should I go for the expensive candles that people sell that are predisposed to certain intention? And you know what? You sure can. And Eric and I do make and sell these at crossroadsoccult.net. And we're very careful with what we choose for the candles that we use for different purposes. We have a lot of different fixed candles, and they arrive to you already prepared for you to burn. There's another option where I will burn it for you, and that's fine too. You do you. But what I'm talking to you about today is you prepping your own candle. So when you order from us, this is already going to be done. But this is telling you how to do it on your own. Now, you can use a Dollar Tree candle. You can use a candle you got at the grocery store, whatever you like, fancier candle. It's just completely up to you. And we're focusing on the glass prayer candles right now. So when I choose a candle, I'm first going to consider what the goal is. Now, the candle I'm prepping today is a My Best Life candle that I want to create for a dear friend of mine who needs it. And so I chose the color yellow because that is about joy and happiness and fulfillment. And it kind of pulls in the energy of the sun, which is warm and vibrant and covers a lot of territory. Now, down in the description, I'm going to put the basic color magic principles. You can find them anywhere online. This is hard to screw up because color magic is pretty consistent. You're not going to get a lot of conflicting information if you just search online or ask AI or whatever. It's all going to be about the same. But I'm using yellow today. And again, if you have any questions, just look in the description. That'll give you some basic ideas, and you can go from there. The type of candle you use, such as paraffin or beeswax or goat's milk or whatever candles you're using, that's up to you. And they're increasing levels of expensive. I enjoy a beeswax candle, I must confess. Beeswax is so receptive to energy, and that's what we're using the candle for. We also use soaps for the same reason. With soaps and candles, the substance you're working with is extremely porous and really receptive to storing energy. So what we're doing with the candle is we're infusing it with energy that we're doing in the spell work. And then that candle is going to gradually release that energy over time as it burns. So it becomes a sort of battery for the energy we're putting out there in the world. And it can release energy when you are not directly focused on your intention. The more energy you can infuse into the candle, even as it's burning, it will continue to receive energy that you send to it while it burns. Sort of like charging your phone and using it at the same time. The more energy you put into it, the better. But it will continue to put the energy out there into the world as it burns, even when you're not focusing. So we want to be careful about what we're putting into it. Now, what this means is you want to make sure you're cleansing yourself before you do the work. I just did me. But you can use burning herbs. You can use sound. You can use products like our ritual cleanse spray. But get yourself seated, get yourself cleansed so that you're a pure vessel to put into this candle. You're not taking the argument from yesterday and contaminating your candle work with it. You're not taking the bad news you got when you checked your social media this morning and putting that into your candle. So do a quick cleanse before you work. Once you've done that and you've selected your color and the type of candle you're going to use, your next step is to get back in your body, make sure you're present for this experience and for this spell work, being very focused. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to, then again, we're using the spell candles here that are in glass. We're going to poke holes into the top of the candle to increase the receptivity. And I like to do 7 because I want to do a hole for each of the 7 chakras so that this spell work penetrates the person or the situation on all 7 layers of existence, all 7 energetic hot points. So we're going to do the first chakra. And what I'm doing is I'm using an orange stick. Toothpicks are a little bit weak for this. You can use kebab sticks as well, but I'm just using a plain old orange stick like you would use for a manicure. And I'm going to, with intention, poke a hole into the top of the wax, and I'm going in a circle around the wick for the first chakra. Now, when I poke into this wax has varying levels of receptivity. Some wax, even just amongst paraffin, some wax is super hoary and it will just eat that candle, welcome it, take it right in. Some are a little bit more uptight and will barely crack the surface. You honor what that no means no. You honor what that candle's telling you and don't force it. Whatever that candle's giving you is the medicine that you need. So I'm going to just poke that hole in there. This one's pretty receptive. And I want to show you what I did. There's the hole right there. We're going to try to keep it even, but that doesn't always happen. That's for our first chakra. And that is our root, our feelings of safety and identity and purpose. In the next one, we're going to poke for the sacral chakra, the second chakra. You can see there's now 2 holes in there. And that is for your passions, your desire, what you want more than anything, and those passions that motivate you and move you. Next, we're going to go to number 3 chakra, which is our solar plexus. And that's your personal power, where you have agency. There's our number 3. Number 4, we're going up to the heart, where you feel and where your relationships are concerned and your dynamics. How do you feel about this situation? And what are your motivating emotions regarding it? For our 5th chakra, we're going up to, did I miss one? 4th? No, 5th right there, to the throat. And that's communication and what you're saying about it. What words define this for you? And now you can see that we've got the 5 holes in there. We're going to go to the 6th hole, and that's your third eye, and that's looking within to your inner wisdom and your inner intuition. And then we're going to go to the 7th, which is the crown, and that's your connection to deity. And that's where you invite your higher power to come down here and assist. Now, when we go to the 6th, that's your higher self. The 7th is your higher power, which is different. That's your deity. So at the end of it, what we have, we're going to kind of get the excess off of that stick. We're going to have the wick surrounded by 7 holes. For each of the 7 chakras, we're usually going to have a little bit of shrapnel in there. And those holes we're going to fill with our blessing oil. I'm using our shishi oil. I don't think that's on our website. That's a special request, so you have to email me to get it. Because it's a really happening oil. It's very busy. And I'm going to take a little pipette. You can use any kind of dropper. I'm going to start in the first hole that I drilled for that root chakra. And I'm going to go around in the same order. And I'm going to fill those holes and a little bit of the surface with my blessing oil. Usually I can pull enough up into the pipette for the entire 7 holes, but sometimes I need a little bit extra. And I'm just going to kind of wing that around there. You don't want to flood it. You just want to fill the holes and put just a tiny bit extra on the surface. After that's done, I'm going to put my herb on. Now, you want to find a complementary herb for what you're doing, and I want herbs that are for luck and joy and satisfaction and happiness and success. And we sell loose incenses that we hand make. And there's nothing in here except herbs and essential oils in the highest grade of both. And this happens to be our good luck incense. I can use pretty much our 5 or 6 incenses that we make cover almost anything you'd want to do. And so what you'd want to do if you're not using ours is just research the herbs that would go along with your goal. And we're just going to put a little light sprinkle. We don't want to overwhelm it. We just want to bless it with the herbs. Got a little bit of bay leaf in there, I see, so that's good. And I'm going to show you what I did. And so I just sprinkled it around there so that it's pretty even. And the last thing I'm going to do in my prep for the physical prepping is I'm going to put some glitter on it. This is hotly debated. Some people do not like using glitter in candles for a lot of good reasons. I hear you. I use glitter in my candles. And there's a practical reason why I do that in addition to it looking cool. So I'm just going to put a little sprinkle. Come on, baby. A little sprinkle of glitter around the top. You can see that. And that's what the top of our prepped candle looks like. The reason I use the glitter is that as this wax melts, when the candle's burning, there will be times the candle's being especially active, very busy. When that happens, it's going to leave a ring or an imprint of that glitter against the glass. And that tells me that 2 days ago, this candle was very busy. What happened 2 days ago? Or it tells me that at the beginning of the burn, the candle was super busy, but then it stabled out. Or stabilized. What I'm looking for is times when that candle was especially active. And I want to see those activity rings down the length of the candle when we're finished and we're reading the glass. Once that's finished, my candle is prepped. The other thing we can do is we can take a permanent marker like this one. And for privacy, we don't have HIPAA in magic, but we do have ethics. For privacy, I'm going to wait to write on this so that I'm doing it privately for her spell work. But you're going to put the person's name on it. It doesn't have to be their birth name or their legal name. It's the name they identify with. You're going to put their name on there, and you're going to write your wishes for them. And even if it's you, put your name on there and write your intentions on the candle glass with a permanent marker. If you're using a darker candle, you can use a silver marker, and that will allow the words to be revealed. Something else that's kind of cool is you can write on there on a darker candle with a darker marker, and as it burns, the letters are revealed because the wax goes away. Unless you've got a lot of black smoke showing your resistance, then you're not going to see it. So you're going to write all kinds of intentions, statements, affirmations, everything you want to have happen as a result of this candle, all over the outside of this. And then you're going to, still in your meditative, clean state, hold that candle, and you're going to push your energy into the porous wax. You're going to think about those intentions that you wrote, and you're going to focus on it and feel the energy move through all of those 7 chakra points that you activated through your hands and into that wax, permeating the wax and filling it up with intention. When you get the feeling of, yeah, this is cooked, this is done, it's all set, you're going to take a breath. Whew. You're going to put your candle in a safe and sacred place. Sometimes you can start them off on your altar where you've got all of your symbolism there that makes you feel especially magical. And you're going to bless that candle by putting it in that sacred space. You're going to burn it later when you're finished, or when you're continuing the burn. You're going to put it in a pot or some other sort of safe place to burn. And then you're going to light it while it's on your altar. As you light it, feel that energy activate and see it go out. Let the wick catch and burn all the way to the surface, and then you know you're good to go. You can leave the candle to burn. Now, a big question that comes up is, should I burn this all the way down in one shot, or should I do it a little at a time and keep putting it out? That's up to you. It's whatever you want to do will be just fine. I burn mine all the way down. I don't put them out. I don't monkey with it. I don't move the wick. I don't pour out wax. I don't do anything to change the composition of this candle as it burns. The candle's going to do what the candle's going to do. It'll tell me things based on how it burns. So I do this. I make sure it's got its best possible start. I prep it, empower it, and then I light it, and I let it do its thing. And then I read it when it's done. Most candles are going to take 3 to 5 days to burn if you burn them straight through. Now, that's how I do it. Another way you can do it is to burn it for an hour or two and then put it out. You can snuff it. You can blow it out. You can pinch it out. It just doesn't matter. There are a lot of myths behind how to put candles out, and I have not found any of them to be accurate. You just put the candle out. When the candle is out, it helps to put a little piece of selenite across the top as the smoke is still rising, and that's going to stabilize your energy. If you don't have the selenite across the top, what's going to happen is as soon as the candle goes out, the push of energy is going to immediately start to decline. So that when you light it again, you've got to reclaim that territory and to get back to where you were, then you can put out more energy to your goal. The selenite preserves, it saves your place. It bookmarks where you are, saves the game if you're a video game player, so that you can start off at the same place. But you want to make sure that that selenite stays across there and keeps that energy stable. And you also want to make sure you're not going a month between burns. This is presuming you're going to relight the candle within a day or so. When you come back to relight that candle, do the same activity you did before. Get back in your body from the day, do a little cleanse, return to that candle, feel the energy that still exists in there, send it more energy, light the candle again, and burn it for another couple hours. You can continue to revisit this candle, but I recommend if you're doing that, that you sit with that candle while you burn it. Be present with it. Put more energy into it because you're not allowing it to burn full. You might want to just invest a little bit more energy into it and trust your selenite until that candle's actually gone. So that's how you burn the candle. Again, you want to be very safe with the burning. Make sure that if you're not present with it, it's burning on your altar. You want to make sure that it's being monitored. If it's not being monitored, put it into a saucepan to burn, or into your fireplace or a wood burning stove or someplace where it's safe to burn. Do not put it in your bathtub. Do not put it in your sink. Why? Because if that candle breaks or gets knocked over, that wax is going to go into your plumbing. You will be very sorry that that happened. So do not put it in a sink or a bathtub. Make sure it's in a saucepan, a fireplace, a wood burning stove, or some other safe place to burn. So that's how you prep. Well, choose and prep and then burn your candle. Make sure you put in lots of intention in there. And when it's time to read the candle, there is a video on that in this selection, or this collection. I will actually link that down below in the description. But when you're ready to get rid of the glass of the candle, the way you dispose of the glass depends on the intention of the candle. Now, this candle is all good stuff. This is about prosperity. This is about work satisfaction. This is about family relations. This is about increasing quality of life and joy in life. So that's okay to just waste stream into your recycling or whatever you're going to do with the glass. You can repurpose it into, if you want to, run it through the dishwasher and make a pencil holder out of it. Whatever you want to do, a vase, it's up to you. But you don't have to be as concerned when you are waste streaming the glass from candles that are for benevolent purposes. If you're using a candle that's for some sort of ugly purpose, you don't want to pass that along to your recycle man or just put that out to be collected and contacted by other people. What you'd want to do with that glass is probably put it in a pillowcase or some heavier cloth and use a hammer and break it up to release the rest of the energy, and then bury the pieces somewhere away from you so that they're not at your back door. You can also bury it. They say bury it at a crossroads, but there are not very many crossroads anymore where it is safe to bury a candle leaving. But those are only of concern if it's some sort of heavy magic or something that you don't want other people to come into contact with. If it's a healing candle, if it's a candle for joy and happiness and satisfaction and prosperity and all the good things in life, you don't have to be as concerned about how you waste stream that. So that's our class for today on how to choose, prep, and then dispose of later your candle, and also how to burn it. I will again link down in the description the the other class that is for how to read the candle. There are lots of different things your candle glass can tell you once the burn is complete. So that's how you do the candle magic part with the glass prayer candles. If you don't want to fool with that, any of that, and you want us to send you a prepared candle, you can order that at crossroadsoccult.net. If you want me to burn the candle for you and handle all of the empowerment and the disposal of the glass and the reading of the glass, you can order that as well. And that includes your candle. If you order it to be sent to you, the price that you see includes your shipping. And we will be happy to be a part of your magical process in any way you choose. Otherwise, believe me, you can do this. You can empower your own candle. And there is an Ask the Witch class, and I'll link that as well, on the benefits of you burning your candle versus having a professional burn it. There's pros and cons to each one. So that's our latest installment on the Candle Magic class. I hope it was helpful to you, and I look forward to your interaction in the comments. You're also welcome to email me at drrasbold, DRRASBOLD @gmail.com, and I can answer your questions there as well. I do have a mentorship program on my Patreon. It's affordable. You can choose any tier of interaction that you want to have in the mentorship, and I will link that below as well. We've got a wonderful Hearthfire Circle community there, and they're invested in learning at all different levels, and I'd love to have you there as well. So that's our class for this week. I hope it's helpful to you, and I look forward to hearing from you about your candle burnings. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.